And when you turn back the clocks, firefighters and safety experts are reminding everyone to double check your smoke alarms. And that includes installing those alarms in every room people sleep in and having at least one on every level of a home. Smoke alarms that are 10 years or older should be replaced, and it's best to test your alarms every month to make sure they're working.
When we have house fire-related injuries or house fire-related fatalities, people that get trapped, a large percentage of those happen in homes with either no smoke alarms or smoke alarms that weren't working. The FEMA statistics would suggest that most house fire-related injuries for the citizen happen in houses that smoke alarms were not present.
The Missouri Department of Public Safety says taking care of your smoke alarms can reduce your risk of dying in a house fire by 50%.